Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unraveling a massive and frankly mind-boggling mystery currently playing out in the American labor market. We are staring down a critical shortage of electricians in America. And get this, it's happening at the exact moment we need them the most. We're talking about the people who literally wire our future. Without them, everything from green energy to artificial intelligence just comes to a grinding halt. So, let's explore exactly what's going on here.
You see, there's a massive contradiction in the labor data right now. We're looking at a projected 9% employment growth for electricians over the next decade. 9%. That means demand is absolutely surging. But here is the paradox. Despite that huge growth in demand, we're somehow losing more electrical workers than we're gaining. People are retiring or leaving the profession way faster than new workers are coming in to replace them.
And honestly, that makes this whole paradox even crazier, because this isn't some low-paying dead-end gig. Not at all. This is a field with roughly 81,000 annual job openings right now. 81,000! And you can easily earn six figures in just a few short years. Plus, you can do it completely debt-free without a four-year college degree. On paper, this should be an absolute slam dunk for labor supply. People should literally be lining up around the block for these roles.
Okay, so let's dive into this and investigate that exact question. Why doesn't anyone want this job? Because if we don't have the people to plug in and wire up our new tech, well, our entire technological and physical infrastructure is in deep, deep trouble. Think about it. It really doesn't matter how advanced our technology gets if there's no physical human being there to connect it to the power grid.
Part 1. A power-hungry nation. To solve this mystery, we first have to look at the massive spike in demand we're experiencing right now in the US. We are entering an incredibly power-hungry era. While things like electric vehicles and solar panels are definitely stressing our grid, AI data centers are the true energy gluttons of our modern era. By 2028, these immense data centers are projected to consume a staggering 12% of all US energy. To put that into perspective, imagine being at a party with 1,000 people and one single guy eats an eighth of the entire massive cake. It's just a colossal amount of power. So the crucial takeaway here is that without electricians, all of this grand investment just halts. The shortage is already biting us. Right now, we've got 53 gigawatts of delayed solar power. That's enough to power roughly 10 million homes, just sitting there undelivered. Out on the roads, 1 in 5 public EV chargers is completely broken. And over in the tech world, hundreds of millions in AI data center investments are stalling out before they even begin, simply because there's no one to wire them up.
Part 2. The culprit.
So who or what is responsible for this massive labor shortage? If the money is good and the demand is clearly there, why aren't young people jumping at the opportunity? Well, this is a problem decades in the making. If we trace the timeline back to 1947, we actually had fantastic systems, like the Electrical Training Alliance, specifically built to pass down trade knowledge to the next generation. But education policy in the early 2000s drastically changed the trajectory of the American workforce, leading us straight to the 81,000 open jobs we face today.
A massive turning point was the 2001 No Child Left Behind Act. Now, the goal here was actually to raise minimum academic achievement by tying crucial federal funds to standardized reading and math scores. But the unintended consequence was that schools desperately prioritized these tested academic subjects just to keep their funding. And in the process, they aggressively squeezed out vocational programs like wood shops and machine shops.
And this policy shift in our schools was coupled with a heavy, top-down cultural messaging campaign. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, there were massive national pushes emphasizing college readiness as the absolute only preferred path. Campaigns like Know How to Go raised over $155 million in total media support alone. This created a really powerful assumption across the country that a four-year college degree was the only desirable outcome for every single student.
The lasting, deeply ingrained impact of all that messaging is honestly staggering. Today, 71% of Gen Z feels a distinct stigma around attending vocational school. For decades, public policy and even high school guidance counselors essentially treated the trades as a punishment for kids who couldn't cut it in real school, rather than treating it as what it is, a highly skilled, incredibly vital, and lucrative career path.
Part 3. The reality of the grind.
But to be perfectly fair, we also have to look at the practical, modern-day barriers that exist on the ground today. It's not just cultural stigma stopping people. There are very real hurdles for those who actually do want to enter the electrical field. Becoming an electrician requires a 4 to 5 year apprenticeship. During that time, your starting wage might be anywhere from $14 to $23 an hour. Now, while that comes with built-in raises and zero student debt, that base wage is a very tight squeeze for an independent adult, especially if they live in an expensive city like San Diego or elsewhere in California. When other entry-level jobs with far fewer barriers offer similar starting pay, you can kind of see why people hesitate.
Furthermore, the work itself is incredibly technical. You really have to master highly complex concepts like P substrates, electrical transfer functions, anodes, and cathodes. I mean, to a layperson, this reads like an alien language. It's intimidating. There is a multi-year ramp of intense, highly technical study required before you ever see that lucrative six-figure payoff we talked about earlier.
Part 4. Rewiring the narrative.
So, how exactly do we fix a labor shortage that's built on decades of cultural messaging, defunded school programs, and tough upfront economics? We clearly need a massive shift in how we approach this. Fortunately, we are already seeing some fantastic green shoots of hope. The industry is adapting. We're seeing the rollout of hybrid apprenticeship classes that offer much-needed flexibility for modern workers. Also, states like Texas, Georgia, and California are investing heavily in pre-apprenticeship programs. These are short, accessible courses designed to familiarize young people with the basics of electrical work, totally without the immediate pressure of a 5-year commitment.
But beyond programs, we need to completely reframe how we view real school and success. And we can do that by relying on incredible human stories. Take the story of a former pre-med student who made this switch to electrical work. She highlights the profound, tangible satisfaction of physically powering our future. You don't just walk away with a piece of paper. You walk away with the ability to literally turn the lights on for society. How cool is that?
Which leaves us with one final, urgent thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. If we are going to save our green energy ambitions, build our AI data centers, and maintain our infrastructure, are we as a society finally ready to leave the college-only myth behind and embrace the trades? Because the shortage of electricians in America isn't a technology problem, it's a people problem. And fixing it, well, that starts with changing our minds.